What's up, everybody? It's me, Eman from Eman's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review The Mummy. Help! Alright, so let's get into a quick intro. There's an ancient evil that's been buried in the sands for a long time. Now that it's been awakened, it threatens to unleash a terror upon the world like no other. Alright, let's get to the good.
The good.
From the very beginning, the movie is not shy about setting the tone for the level of action that's going to be on full display. Most of the action scenes are going to be very reminiscent to Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible films. There are plenty of explosions and chases, and Tom Cruise running. That man really likes to run. Now, besides the action, it was really interesting to see how this movie was going back to its roots in terms of trying to tap into the horror genre, just like the original movie. I mean, there were plenty of jump scares throughout the entire movie, and a lot of mummy zombies, which I like to call zummies, that all help to create a very tense atmosphere in different scenes of the movie. I think overall they did a pretty good job with the CGI special effects, and to top it all off, there were a couple humorous moments that might just actually get a chuckle out of you. I think without a question, one of the biggest highlights of this movie is definitely Sofia Boutella. I mean, she was simply captivating every single time she was on screen. Dare I say that her character was a little bit more intriguing than even Tom Cruise's character. What I loved about her was the fact that she was able to carry a sense of terror but beauty all at the same time. Well, enough of that, let's get on to the bad.
The bad.
Okay, first of all, this movie tried to do way too much at the same time. It kind of reminds me of when you're trying to make one of those health shakes, but all the ingredients didn't blend very well. So when you start to drink it, you actually start to taste these weird lumps, and you can't identify what they are. It's just weird. I think there were one too many cheesy one-liners from Tom Cruise's character, and rather than allowing a funnier actor to carry some of the funnier scenes, like Jake Johnson, I think it was a bit of a misstep to have Tom Cruise trying to be a little bit funnier than he needed to be. Speaking of Tom Cruise, and I can't say too much because I really don't want to ruin it for you guys, I really just don't like what they did with his character in regards to the choices that he made and the actions that he takes. One of the things that probably led to his character being so bad was the forced relationship that he had with Jenny. Both of their characters are kind of like rushed into this relationship, and it really doesn't help make any sense of the decisions that were made at the end of the movie. I guess I also have to admit that I'm a little disappointed in the lack of originality in this movie. Like I said, a lot of the action scenes were very similar to what we've seen in Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible films, and in addition to that, one of the scenes of the mummy itself looked very similar to the latest Power Rangers movie when Rita Repulsa was trying to come back to life. To make matters worse, the marketing for this movie did not help with a lot of the spoilery trailers. Personally, I think they revealed a little bit too much with Russell Crowe's character, and even when we did finally get to see him, it was kind of underwhelming. I think they really should have kept his character as kind of like a shadowy, behind the scenes type of person, because the more I think about this movie, the more I realize that a couple of his scenes could have been cut out and it wouldn't have affected the movie at all. Okay, enough of that, let's get to the reason.
The reason.
Now, in case you didn't know, Universal Pictures is trying to make their own dark monster universe. So they're trying to use The Mummy as a setup movie to introduce new characters that are going to be coming in this movie universe. Johnny Depp is going to be the Invisible Man. Recently, news dropped that they were going to add the Phantom of the Opera and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. What? When was the Hunchback ever a monster? I think that the Hunchback is just someone that's been body shamed for way too long. Anyway, judging from The Mummy, it's really hard to tell what direction this franchise is gonna take. Like, I don't know if they're trying to be like Hellboy or Suicide Squad or just a bunch of random monster movies all together. Now, given what I saw in The Mummy, I can't say that I'm all that excited to see what's about to come next. It's just that the story and all the little Easter egg hints that they tried to lead throughout The Mummy kind of felt like they were overexerting themselves just to set up all these other films. Unfortunately, I don't think that The Mummy is going to live up to the hype or the expectations that would probably come with a normal Tom Cruise film, nor to the success of the previous Mummy films that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. Now, while on paper this movie really should be a home run, I think it's more of just like a little bunt play. Whether they make it to first base or not, I'll let you decide that. Now, if you are actually interested in this whole potential universe that they're trying to create, then you do kind of have to watch this movie. So when it comes down to the rating for The Mummy, I've got to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, don't worry about seeing this movie in 3D. To me, it just wasn't enough 3D special effects to warrant seeing it in this format. I mean, you get a few scenes here or there where a couple things are popping at you, but very soon afterwards, you're gonna forget you're watching a 3D movie. So feel free to watch it only in 2D. Now, I think that this is the type of movie that you watch at your local theater when they're having like a discounted day or a matinee or something. Now, despite everything I said earlier, I do think that some people are still gonna like this movie and completely ignore all the flaws that I had mentioned earlier. So if you do intend to go see this regardless, I would recommend going in with low expectations, avoid any of the trailers, and pass on the 3D. If you do that, you'll probably enjoy this movie for what it's worth. All right, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me. I always appreciate you guys. If you have seen The Mummy, tell me, what did you think about it? Are you also looking forward to some of these future monsters in this dark universe? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, or subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to connect with me on any one of my social media platforms. As always, you know I've got more reviews and more videos to make for you guys. So until next time, I'll see you later.